I thank him for his work as the ranking member on budget. Mr. Speaker, I'm about to say something that the American people don't want to hear. The swamp is back. Mr. Speaker, the House is not in order.
Gentleman's correct. Members, let's give everybody a courtesy, please. I know it's late. Gentleman may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, let me be clear. The swamp is back. Every day since January 20th, Democrats have sided with their special interest allies and ignored the real needs of the American people. The result is the bill before us today, or should I say tomorrow. Congress won't actually vote on this bill till about 2 a.m. Saturday morning. Why? Because, Mr. Speaker, Democrats are so embarrassed by all the non-COVID waste in this bill that they are jamming it through in the dead of night. We ran the numbers. The amount of money that actually goes to defeating the virus is less than 9%. Less than 9%. So don't call it a rescue bill. Don't call it a relief bill. If you are a friend of the Speaker, you do pretty well under this bill. But for the American people, it is a loser. Let's consider Medicare. Tonight, CBO confirmed that this bill will cause $36 billion in cuts to Medicare starting this year. If you vote for this bill, I want you to go back to your district. Look the seniors in the eye. Look at the hospitals, those who have been working night and day, and tell them why you voted to cut their health benefits. Or consider the blue state bailout. This bill calls for states and local governments to receive $350 billion. Most states are not in financial distress. Nearly half saw an increase in their revenue last year. And some, even including my home state of California, the Speaker's as well, actually has a budget surplus. But none of that money is tied to reopening. Or consider elite institutions, Harvard and others. This bill calls for them to receive hundreds of millions of dollars. But Harvard already has a $40 billion endowment. Compare that to K through 12 education. This bill allocates only $6 billion to help reopen American schools in fiscal year 2021. More than 2/3 of the education funding would not be spent until 2023 or later. Almost every one of this bill's 592 pages includes a liberal pipe dream that predates the pandemic. Now let's check the fine print. On page 97, for those of you who've not read it, it hands out health care subsidies to illegal immigrants. On page 347, it fast-tracks $1.5 billion to Amtrak. Now, Amtrak has $1.5 billion from the last package they haven't even spent. On page 306, it gives federal employees up to an extra $21,000 to help cope with virtual schooling. Let me read that so every American understands. If you are a federal employee, you get an extra $21,000 to cope with virtual schooling. Because a lot of federal employees are going to vote for this bill tonight. But if you are one of the millions of parents outside of Washington, outside of the swamp, who are struggling through school closures, including the 1 million mothers who had to quit their jobs to take care of their kids at home with school, and the fathers that quit, you are ignored.
I found Kevin McCarthy's message so important that I had to replay it here on YouTube. We are in historic times. So put on your seatbelt, get ready, because God is good, and we're going to find out how amazing He is if you don't know already. Thanks for watching Mustang Medic. I want to do a special thank you to Don for transportation, for, he wants to remain undercover, for who turned me on to Telegram, which is allowing me to speak to a great number of people during this time of having a second strike and YouTube not allowing Mustang Medic to post. And to all of you for your financial support. I'm going to keep talking about finances, guys. It's okay. People will hate, but to stay independent, you have to donate for me to be here. And I don't believe I'd be honoring God if I didn't ask and ran out of money and had to leave DC. So your continued support, Kathleen, thank you. The reason I'm mentioning Kathleen is she's been incredibly generous, and she has helped us pay the rent this month. I'm very grateful. So if you're motivated, $5 can change the world. Thank you.